In my last video, we started talking all about 25 book launch marketing ideas that you could implement when you're getting ready to launch your book. Now, these are the same launch techniques, tips that I've used for 4 best-selling books before I turned 30, and also to help dozens and dozens of other people launch their books successfully to achieve their long-term goals. Now, in the previous video, I gave you 1 through 13, and we broke it all down. And in this video, I'm going to talk and walk you through ideas 14 through 25 and continue to dig into them a little bit further here. Now, the one thing I want you to remember is this truth. You've worked your butt off to get to this point. Don't stop talking about your book now. This is where you need to turn up the engine and go all in, because the truth of the matter is this. If nobody knows about your book, it doesn't matter how good it is, because no one will know about your book. It's time for you to stop being the best kept secret. You wrote the book, you spent the time, you put in the money, you put in the energy, you put in the effort. Let's now talk about our book. Let's capitalize on the opportunity that we have the best marketing asset in the entire world in our hands in the form of a book, and let's promote the heck out of it in a way that will actually lead to conversions, lead to qualified leads, and lead to adding tons of value for your audience. All right, so here is the 14th tip in the book launch marketing ideas series. Number 14 is to create a press release for your book. So I have a really good friend of mine. She is a book publicist, and she actually gets people press releases. We do this too. And she will actually write a press release for your book, and it can get picked up by 200 plus media outlets. How cool would it be to snap your fingers, have a press release done, and it be getting picked up by all these different channels and media outlets, right? Press releases can be really, really effective, especially if you position it right within your niche. Number 15 is influencer marketing. Now, this can be interpreted in so many ways, but to keep it simple for right now is you can do influencer marketing. So this is where you can pay someone directly to promote your book. There are book review sites. There are all different types of people who will promote your book in exchange. You can even do something fun and go on Cameo, find a celebrity or someone that you enjoy and have them hype up your book launch. Congratulations on your book launch. This book's amazing. And you can pay them to kind of script out what you want to say. And there are different ways to do influencer marketing that can be really, really effective. Now, this strategy has changed right off the top bat. If you're going to go do this, sure, you could go to the biggest names in the world, but what I would encourage you to do is find the people that have the smaller audiences that are more engaged. Okay, so the smaller audiences that are more engaged, the people that are really successful in your niche, the people that are industry leaders in your niche, the more niche you are, the more opportunities you have probably to get access to people, because there's not as many industry leaders. So you're able to do that. And the last tip I'll give you on influencer marketing is find people in complementary industries, because they're not going to see you as a competitor. They're going to see you as someone who they could collaborate with and potentially even get referrals from you down the road. So it's a win-win opportunity. Number 16 is advertise on Amazon ads or with Facebook ads. This, to be honest, is a strategy that I don't do a ton, and there are certain reasons for it. But if you want to get your book seen more and more, you can get that done through ads. If you want to have people see your book all over Facebook constantly, you can run ads, right? So ads kind of pay to play, right? That's the point of having ads. And so if you know what you're doing and you have a longer sales funnel involved, sometimes this can make a ton of sense. Number 17 is collaborate with other authors and do giveaways. So this is something that I think is a really underutilized marketing strategy for your book launch. Is like, there are a lot of people, and look, I'll be honest, when you're an author, you're friends with other authors. People just start to connect with each other, and you're like, oh, you're an author, I'm an author, let's support each other. But you could do book giveaways. So your book's coming out, you could find 10 other authors who have books that are similar or complementary. You could say, hey, my book's coming out, I'd love to do a book giveaway. And you could do 1v1, and you could do 10 of your own, and then you have 10 other people. You could also do a 10-person one where you bring other authors together and you do a bundle, right? You could do 3 authors, 5 authors. The number of authors is relevant, but doing a giveaway could be really fun with other authors. Number 18 is reach out to a bookstore and do a reading. If you live in a community or a city that has a local bookstore, oh my gosh, that is amazing. All right, we just had a client, her book was coming out. Now that local bookstore is carrying her book as a local author. She's doing a reading, she's doing a book signing. Like, there are some great partnerships to be had. And again, that's wonderful because you can do that and attract people in your community, borrow the marketing power of these bookstores that already have email lists and people who come and buy from their bookstore. But you also get all of that social content. You get that feedback. There's so many opportunities to leverage these moments into future and more opportunities for growth. Number 19 is host a virtual launch party. Okay, you could do an in-person launch party, which I said in the last video, which is one of my favorite things to do. But let's say you have friends all over the country, or you want to do a mass opportunity. Well, do a virtual launch party and invite people, maybe have guest speakers. And look, I did a version of this where I did for my third book, I did a 4-hour Instagram live. So on launch day, I was just on Instagram live for 4 straight hours. And every 15 or 30 minutes, I brought in someone who was featured in the book. And we scheduled this out. And so I constantly had speakers. I was constantly getting exposed to other people's new audiences. And we were getting tons of book sales as this was happening. I looked back at the number and I could see, oh, book was bought. People in the comments, I just bought your book. I just bought your book. That was really, really fun and amazing. You can also do like an actual event where it's a full day thing, a half day thing. You could speak, you could bring in another speaker, you could do a Q&A, you could do various workshops. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to leverage this. But a virtual launch party could be a great way to hit the digital audience. Number 20 is schedule book tours and signings. So what I mean by this is if you can put together a couple of different deals right when your book's coming together and you're getting ready to launch, you can do a nationwide tour. We have someone who we're helping her launch her book, and she's going to speak at my event in LA. She's going to be speaking in Arizona. She's going to be speaking in Atlanta. She's going to be in 5 or 6 cities over the first couple weeks. We had another client. They did a international book tour. They did one in the overseas in Norway, and they did one in Houston, Texas. Lot of opportunities to leverage that. And that was like, oh my gosh, you're on a book tour? And they were filling up rooms and they were getting new eyeballs in front of them. They were meeting new people. And the coolest part about this is not only are they promoting their book, but they're building their brand in the process. They're impacting people at scale. They're getting new leads to grow their business. This was really, really special. Number 22 is you can add reviews to Goodreads. Goodreads gives you an opportunity to put your book up there, and it's another way to be discovered. 23, build a book website and give something for free. Okay, so one thing that you can do, and you could do this as an author site, you could do this as a book site, but the gist of it is have a place where people can go to learn more about you, more about your book, and receive something for free, whether that's the book or whether that's a chapter, whether that's a lead magnet that you've talked about in the book. Maybe it's the audiobook, maybe it's a template, maybe it's a PDF. Maybe it's a mini series, a video course, whatever it is, but you can build a book site and give people something for free to really excite them about buying the book. All right. Another thing that you can do, and this is a little bit higher level here, is you can have people buy the book. And once they buy the book, they can send you the receipt. And once they do that, they unlock a certain amount of bonuses. So this can be really great for getting bulk orders, where if you're like, hey, if you buy 1 book, you get this. If you buy 10 books, you get this. If you buy 100 books, you get this. And you can keep going. And then what happens is you kind of gamify the process. And that can all be done on a book website, a very simple, page, a landing page could do sometimes. But you'll want to talk with a developer or somebody who's done this, and we can coach you through that as well if you're looking to do that. Number 24 is guest blogging. All right. Now you might be like, Jake, blogging is a way of the past. Well, here's the thing. If it worked, do it. All right. And this is why I say to try some of these different things. Depending on your industry, depending on your niche, blogs are more relevant in some than others. So if that's the case, right, then find the people who have great blogs and see if you could do a guest post talking about the lesson within your book. You can go to Forbes, you can go to Entrepreneur, you can go to these different things and pitch them to write an article. Now, here's what you do. Don't just say, hey, I want to promote my book. You say, hey, my new book's coming out on this date. It's about this. And I know that your audience like this. So here are 3 ideas that I'd love to write an article about. Now you're making it about them and their audience and what they would get value from, while also leveraging the fact that your book's coming out, which will be exciting for them. Now they feel this is worth their time and their energy, and that's how you're going to get a ton of opportunities to create new eyeballs and grow that momentum. And then the 25th one, just because we're going to tie it all together here, the final one here is add your book link to your email signature. This was one that I didn't even think about when I launched my first book. And over time, I've just continued to update this and update this. And I get sales all the time from people who see my book in my signature. They want to check out what I'm all about, and they'll go buy a book. They'll get a free plus shipping book from one of our funnels. They'll just do that as a way to get in touch. And then a few months later, they'll say, hey, I got your book from your email signature when we first met. I'm now ready to work with you. There's so many different ways to market your book. All right, and this is just 25. But if you can take a few of these and implement them, all right, maybe you have a goal of saying, I want to take 5 of these. I want to just do them really, really well. I'm going to hammer it home. Then go ahead and do that and have some fun with it, okay? This is your book. This is exciting. This is an opportunity. You got this. Crush it. Have some fun with it. And if you want to know how to get all these different ideas in a simple, easy to read PDF, I'll give them to you for free. All right, I'll give them to you for free, but better yet, I'll give you my entire book for free. And then you can get this along with a bunch of other free resources as well to really help you on your book journey. And so if you want to get access to that, text me the word free to 661-669-7363. That's text free to 661-669-7363. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found some value, and I hope more than anything that if you're getting ready to launch a book, you get the right help. And that could be through watching these videos. That could be through listening to this podcast. That could be to working with us and our team, working with someone else. I just want to make sure that you've worked your butt off to get to this point with your book. Let's make it as successful as humanly possible. You got this, and let's go.